Hey there, world, and welcome back for another episode of Chopping It Up. If you are new to this podcast, make sure to listen to our previous episodes on the podcast channel at choppodcast.podbean.com or on the Podbean app. Also, make sure to follow Chop Podcast, which is one word, on Instagram. Again, that's Chop Podcast, one word, on Instagram for everything related to chopping it up. You can also check out our new page on Facebook by following the link on our website for Chopping It Up news and updates. Finally, don't forget to message us on Instagram or email us at choppodcast@gmail.com to submit your Chop Move stories for a chance to win the Chop of the Week. We have our first one this episode, and it will kind of show you what we're looking for the Chop of the Week. I am your host, Frankie, and I am joined once again by Jeffrey Steiner. And today we'll have a few special guests in the studio to talk about the Chop Classic. Jeff, what else do we have on tap for today?
Well, we have a good episode on for today. We're looking at Steven Spielberg's sound system. As you said, we're announcing the first ever Chop of the Week. Remember to submit your Chop Move of the Week after listening to this episode. And we're going to tune in for a quick World Cup update. Giddy up!
Welcome back for our third episode of Chopping It Up, and we're going to jump right into Off the Cuff. And I think I'm going to talk about how soft America is and how soft America has gotten in the last couple of years. And I think it's pretty reflective of the NBA MVP race, which concluded this past week, where James Harden won the MVP over LeBron James.
Yeah, it makes no sense, doesn't it?
And I'm not a big stats guy, even though some of you may think that I am a stats guy. I'm really not. It's more of a what can you do for me now. But when you look at the stats, LeBron James had better stats than James Harden in every single category except for three-point field goal percentage, which they had the exact same percentage. Not to mention that LeBron James took a terrible basketball team to the NBA Finals and beat a Celtics team that, in a few years will be pretty good. And I think that this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I think this MVP race shows how soft America is, and that they don't want to give the MVP to LeBron James every single year, or maybe not every single year, but years like this where he's clearly had the best year, and they say, oh, well, he's LeBron. He's supposed to do that. He's great. That's what he does. It's like, no, if he has better stats, he should get the MVP. There's no need to, give out a part. I don't really love the participation trophy, even though I think that those are dumb too. But I don't really love that tagline. But I mean, to give a participation trophy to James Harden, I mean, it's a joke. LeBron James had the best year. Give him the trophy. Yeah. I mean, what's so difficult about that?
I mean, I agree with that. I think the award this year was more of an apology. Considering last year's race, Russell Westbrook averages a triple-double. James Harden, equally as amazing, and they had a tough time choosing between the two. And I feel like really the only reason they gave it to James Harden, even though LeBron James, season in and season out, is the best player in the league, they gave it to James Harden to make up for the fact that he didn't get it.
Because they felt bad. And they're like, you know what?
Yeah, it was an apology.
It's too harsh if we don't give him the MVP here, so we're going to, give him the MVP so that he has one and, he can feel better about himself. And I don't want anyone to think that this is just about the MVP race. This is just in general about a lot of things that go on in society. And I just want to say one more thing. There's a difference between being soft and not being equal. I think that equality and equity is a good thing, but then I think there are instances where people are just so soft, and sometimes you just got to toughen up a little bit. Like, you can't have everything.
Yeah, I mean, if a guy's better than you, he's just better than you. I gotta be honest, I agree with you entirely on this. LeBron James, as far as I'm concerned, should win the award every single year. Yeah, he's the best player. Like, there's no way around it. He's good. He's the most valuable player. Any team that has LeBron James immediately just goes to the finals. I mean, the guy's incredible.
Yeah, this is a trend that's been going on for a while, not just in the NBA, and it's just something that it bothers me a little bit, gets me going.
Hey,
So what gets you going?
Well, I'm glad you got it off your cuff, Frankie.
Yeah.
Just slinging it out there. I agree with you.
You got to do
completely.
what you got to do.
My off the cuff rant. It's kind of sad because it makes me into a bit of a hypocrite. So I was walking into work today, and to get into the building, you have to walk across a driveway. And I was looking at my phone. I don't know what I was doing, checking email or reading text messages or something. And I walked out in front of a car, and they stopped. I did not get hit. I know you guys are worried, but I'm okay.
You forgot to look both ways.
I didn't look both ways because I was so engrossed in my phone, and that just pisses me off. That I would allow myself to do something like that, and that has become such an ingrained part of our culture. And it made me think of a lot of people within our generation tend to experience things by filming them on their phones.
Right, like going to the club, in the middle of the dance floor. Let's film myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another example was we were in the movies last night watching the new Jurassic World. Pitch black. Everybody's going. There's nostalgia kicking in for everybody. The theme music is playing, and then a girl flash photography taking selfies of herself in the movie theater to type in seeing Jurassic World in the movie theater.
People gotta know
for her Snapchat.
People
story.
gotta know.
But my thing is, I think that we forget to just experience life. I think a lot of times we try to experience things through our phones, and it's more important when you go to a destination, a travel destination or whatever, to take a picture or take a video so you can look at it later and reminisce rather than just enjoying it for the moment. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And that's something that I think about a
saying.
lot. And it really bothers me, and I'm sad to say that I also do the same thing quite often. But
sometimes people just, they have to see your Snapchat story. They won't be able to go to bed at night if they don't see it. And so, I kind of, I see both sides. I really do.
Well, I guess so. But
all right, so what do you have for the Chop Move of the Week?
I was going to say.
And this is the first time we are introducing this, and I think this is a segment that our listeners will really start to enjoy as it gains some traction. And so Jeff is going to explain to us what the Chop Move of the Week submission was and why it won the Chop Move of the Week. So how was it an example of someone being a chop?
Okay, so as we typically define a chop as an individual who struggles to do normal tasks normally.
Right.
Yeah. And so a chop move is really just any act that embodies that spirit in an individual. And so we had a couple submissions, and I got to say, I really love the one that took the cake. The first ever Chop of the Week came from an Instagram user, Maw3_. That's MAW3_.
No idea who that is.
No idea. But he's a chop, I can tell you that much. He's the Chop of the Week.
Yeah, so what happened in this instance?
So in his story, and I'm just going to read this to you because I think that's the easiest way to do it. He was walking into a sandwich shop, and another person was leaving as he was walking into the shop. So he was trying to be a nice guy. He threw the screen door open for this gentleman.
Right, which is doing the normal task, which would be opening the door for someone walking in.
You're just trying to be polite. Right. So he threw the door open, but apparently there was some resistance on the hinges.
Okay, a little recoil action.
Yeah, the door came back a little fast, and he wasn't able to stop the door on this guy. So the guy, thinking he was going to get hit by the door, reaches his arm out, punches his arm through the screen on this sandwich shop.
This is incredible.
And the door then continues onward and smacks him in the face.
This is an all-time chop move, and it's the first submission. Yeah, it's going to be hard to top this one.
I got to be honest. I was reading it, and I was really struggling not to laugh. What do you do in that situation? I mean, gosh, you throw the door open, guy breaks a door on a sandwich shop, smacks him in the face, and you're there dumbfounded. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, this is just an all-time. Like I said, this is just an all-time chop move. Tries to do the normal thing, fails miserably to do the normal thing. Then the guy walking in. Let's talk about the guy walking in for a second. That's a bit of a chop move in itself too. There's two chop moves occurring in one time. This guy, slams his arm forcefully enough to go through screen. like a screen on a door. He just punches the screen out. I mean, that's just not normal.
I think he just panicked. I mean, I would imagine you'd reach for the edge of the screen door. I mean, if you go right for the center of the screen, that's on you, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely panicked a little bit.
And the response by our chop of the week, my bad, man. And so even chopped up the apology. All around.
If that happens, you
classy.
need to commit to an apology that you feel good about moving forward. I don't think he feels good about my bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But I felt that really took the cake. That embodies what a chop is. And if you have a chop move of the week after listening to this episode, we'd love to hear it. Just send your submissions to choppodcast@gmail.com or send us a direct message on Instagram.
DM, bro. It's a DM.
Fine, if you want to say
Slide
it that
in
way.
those DMs.
Slide into the DM of our Instagram account, Chop Podcast. That's one word, Chop Podcast. So, chop move of the week, Frank.
All right.
A real winner to start.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. Hopefully we go up from there, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Okay, and so moving on to Spielberg's sound system, which this one really has a mind of its own, this segment.
Yeah, we decided to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, we decided to mix it up and go with the greatest of all time Hot 100 songs. And what song is at the top, Jeffrey
The number one
Steiner?
song, you can't beat it, always gets me out on the dance floor, as awkward as possible, The Twist by Chubby Checker.
I bet you,
I
tear
twist.
it up.
I twist with the best of them.
Yeah, and so the first line of The Twist by Chubby Checker is "Come on, baby." So Jeff, what is your movie you're creating?
Gosh.
With that tagline, "Come on, baby."
Blockbuster film. I'm embodying my inner Steven Spielberg. The Twist. Come on, baby. I can see the movie poster, and I'm thinking a horror film.
Oh,
I'm thinking a horror film for this one. Titled The Twist, obviously. Subtitle, Come on, baby, let's do the twist. And I see it as perhaps a seductive young woman who tries to, bring guys in, dancing, doing the twist. And it's not what you'd think. You'd think they're coming in to dance, but in reality, she's a serial killer. And the twist is actually what she nicknames her method of finishing them off.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's real nasty. Think Saw. I'm thinking Saw on this one.
that really took a turn there.
Or a twist, if you will.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. So what do you think on
That's
this one?
nice. So for this one, I'm thinking a high school prom. For this one,
I try not to think about high school prom.
why would happen at your high school prom?
It was an awkward phase.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about it.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So for mine, I'm thinking high school prom. I'm thinking, a guy's there with his date, and he says, come on, baby, let's go dance. Okay? So, like the song, Come On, Baby, Let's Do the Twist. So very similar. Come on, baby, let's go dance. They go dance, maybe they're doing a little electric slide, right? The girl, she forgets to take off her high heels.
Oh, God, on the
Right?
slide?
On the slide.
Rookie move.
So guess what happens? She rolls her ankle, breaks her ankle.
I get where you're going with this.
Miserable night at the prom, right? The rest of the movie is them tracking her recovery and her building herself back up for her senior prom. This was junior prom, for her senior prom to be able to dance.
Wow, that's a multi-layered film there. You not only have an ankle twist, but a subtle plot twist, a nice redemption arc.
You're
Frankie,
just killing it with the.
It's really easy.
Sorry, I have a cold.
That's my gosh, just stop it. We'll let it slide this time. Frankie, you think you can survive long enough to give us your World Cup update for the week?
I think I can make it through the World Cup update because that's really what gets me through these just not so great summer days of just waking up and going and testing water. And so we're going to jump right in. So first point, Harry Kane is so good he can score without looking. Second point, Argentina's coach is a lunatic, absolute lunatic, by the way, people. And they also just absolutely stink. I mean, they're awful. I could score on their defense. Pathetic. Third point, Neymar might still be rolling along the sideline after being nudged today. I don't know if anyone saw that. He got taken out. He rolled about 10 more times. We'll get that one up on the Instagram page so you can see a little video of what I'm talking about there. Modric and Rakitic are silky smooth. They're from Croatia. And finally, I know you thought I might have missed it. I was never going to miss this. The Germans go home. And today was a glorious day. I'm just going to elaborate on this one for a second, people. Today was an unbelievable day. One of the happiest days, honestly, of the past year for me. There was nothing quite like watching South Korea's second goal when my guy, Son from Tottenham, chased down basically a long ball with no defenders and no goalie. And it was just awesome watching the Germans go down. There's nothing they can do about giving up the second goal. And, I mean, it was probably the second happiest I've been all year. The first was when the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl.
Oh, why do you have to bring that up?
And so, I really take pleasure in watching the Germans lose. I guess I should have seen this coming. They went to Russia, just probably not a great idea. They probably shouldn't even have shown up. I did kind of call this last episode. But watching the Germans go home, watching Thomas Müller throw his water bottle while he was practically in tears on the bench, I mean, there's nothing better than that. There really is nothing better than that. And so, yeah, they're on a flight back home to, Berlin, and, they get to watch the rest of the World Cup on their couch, which there's just great day.
You can't beat the video quality. World Cup on the couch.
Yeah, that's true. They'll get all different angles.
Got to find a positive in here for the Germans.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, well, there you have it. That's this week's World Cup update. Nice points, Frankie, and I think that's a good time for us to take our first break.
Welcome back. This second half of the episode with our special guests, Austin Lee and Matt Paris, is brought to you by the second annual Chop Classic, Southeastern Connecticut's premier below-average amateur golf tournament. If you want to check out the action on July 1st, that's this Sunday, at the Norwich Golf Course, follow Chop Classic on Instagram for field updates and tournament information. So, gentlemen, well, first let's get into a little bit of background of what the Chop Classic is, and then I'll give a brief recap of what happened last year, and then I'll let you guys take center stage. So what the Chop Classic is I would go out and I would play golf with my friends, and a lot of my friends they're just not that great right now.
Chops.
They're chops. They're absolute chops. In maybe 10 years, maybe a few of them will try a little harder. 5 years, I could see these guys being pretty good. But right now, they're just not that great. And some of them really don't care. They just do it for fun. They do it to drink a few beers, out on the course with the boys. And so what I did was I started the Chop Classic, which last year was the first year. And what it is basically to figure out who is the best of the worst. So of all my friends that don't play a lot of golf, who is actually the best golfer?
And we brought some special rules too, right, Frank? Maybe you want to give an explanation.
Yeah, and so the rules are it's 9 holes stroke play because 18 holes would just take way too long. So it's 9 holes stroke play, meaning that you need to count every single shot you take. So if you hit it into the woods, 5 times, you're looking at about a 12 or a 13 on a hole. Which actually, I think last year
we put a cap.
Yeah, I think we put a cap, which was a 10, and
I took a few of those.
There were multiple 10s from our competitors.
4th hole was particularly rough for myself and a few others.
And the big rule is that however many beers you drink in the 9 holes, that gets deducted from your score. So if you were to shoot a 50 for 9 holes, normal stroke play, and you drink 7 beers, you would shoot a 43.
You struggle with that one, Frank.
And
you feeling all right?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about how many beers our friend Austin over here drank, and I just, I got a little lost. I got a little sidetracked.
I think we'll get to that lost too.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But that's the basic premise of the rules. And so really all that matters is your total low score. It doesn't matter how many beers or how many strokes. It's the total low score is what we're really looking for. And so last year, the reason we have Austin and Matt on is because it actually went to a sudden death playoff hole last year. They both tied with, what was it, 44?
42.
42. Yeah. And Matt ended up winning on the first playoff hole because Austin missed about a 6-inch putt, which I didn't know was possible. He didn't even hit the hole from 6 inches, which people go out and try that. It's actually kind of hard to do. And so Matt won on the first playoff hole, and I think, and this will be a good segue, I think the right man won. And so Matt, let's get your feeling. Let's talk about last year. How do you think it went?
All right. Well, last year the Chop Classic was really something that you just don't know what to expect. So you just come in there with an open, clean mind that just gets even worse as the amount of beers you drink progresses. Right. So as everybody's drinking, having a good time, people are talking and getting into other people's heads, which is really what it's all about. And we have some head cases in our group. And I recall last year we had to do a shotgun with the beers on one of the holes. I think it was the 7th hole.
It was the 7th, yes.
And, people do their shotguns. Some people are fast. Some people are slow. And some people just can't even finish them. But we had to finish them. That was it. Or if you didn't finish it, you got DQ'd. So then just one kid pours out half of his beer, claiming it's all foam. But you do see the liquid coming out in the video. And it's just a big-time chop move.
You hate to see it.
But... I'm just glad he was there at the tournament because the kid fit right in. And I'm happy to see him again.
He'll probably get DQ'd this year for sure.
He was not DQ'd last time. I never got a clarification
on
that.
It was one of those that he got DQ'd, but I thought he might break down and do a straight-up cry, and I was a little worried for his health at that point.
You're a good friend.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy deep down, so I allowed him to play. I was like, this guy's not going to win. He'll probably never win it.
And he actually got DQ'd prior to the shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, he was. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens this year. But it's always an adventure when you get to the chop. And so Austin, how do you think your experience went last year?
It went pretty well. I played a bit better than I thought I was going to. But
yeah, you had no expectations coming in.
No, none at all. Because I could go either way. It's either good or bad. But doing the Chop Classic, it was fun. There's not really a lot going on for people that like to play golf but aren't good at it. So this is something for us to all come together and play.
Right. And so how many beers did you drink last year?
Now keep in mind, this is an honor system. You're keeping track of this on your scorecard. You finish your beer, you tip it over your head. If no foam comes out, that's a legitimate beer. Take a stroke off your score. And I was in Austin's group, and I seem to recall there was a few moments that were a bit fuzzy. That ended up on Austin's scorecard. So what do you think the count was, Austin?
It was so long ago, and I was so drunk from all the beers that I drank.
He can't remember.
So I really can't remember. I think I said maybe 5 or 6. I forget.
What's sad is how I was forced into panic mode. I went straight to Panic City when I heard that Austin and I had tied after 9 holes, only to find out a year later that Austin had cheated and
really only drank about 2 beers.
Allegedly, there's no true evidence that he cheated.
Yeah, I would like to see some proof.
We've heard that from some haters.
From a very reliable source that...
Well, Jeff was in his group, and Jeff can't confirm.
I was in his cart, but I got to be honest with you, I wasn't shooting well. I think it was the 7th hole. I tried to catch up by drinking multiple beers in 2 strokes.
Jeff proceeded to putt the ball nearly off the green from about 4 feet away from the hole. Honestly, I've never seen a putt as bad in my life.
I think you can hear me in the video say, "Oh, I'm drunk."
Yeah,
it was an ugly moment, and I think that's about the time that I lost track of Austin's beer count. So it might have been downhill 7 to 9.
I don't know where your guys' sources are coming from, but this is like CNN with all this fake news going on.
Oh. And that is
I don't like it.
And that is a fantastic segment. It's almost like this guy's done this before. And what we are going to do, we have a few special segments with our guests that we are going to do. And so we are going to do the right kind of politics with Matthew Paris. And, that CNN talk, that's a great segue, because what we are going to talk about today is Sarah Sanders, the press secretary, getting kicked out of the Red Hen restaurant in Lexington, Virginia, because of her ideology. And Jeff, what do you think about this?
Well,
I think I know what you think about this.
I think it was wrong.
Especially in Southern territory, this should be our territory.
It should be. It's really unprecedented in recent years. If you go back in history, I think there would be some people who take issue with that. Yeah. But it's wrong. It's wrong. It's just downright wrong to kick her out for just her ideas when she's just trying to be a patron at your restaurant. She's just giving you money, maybe a good review on Yelp.
The Yelp reviews are key.
I think they got a couple negative reviews if I'm not.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing, because we can't have this going on in this country. This owner of this restaurant, what do you think should be done to him, Matthew?
First off, I just want to say that it's 2018 and people have really become too sensitive to, especially the words that people bring out on Twitter, Instagram, everything. There's always somebody complaining. And, this Sarah Sanders lady just expressing her own ideas, can't hate it. You can't hate that. Why are people being...
And to do this to someone that basically gives her life to defend the man that we love day in and day out in front of these reporters who are vicious.
It's a gauntlet.
It's an absolute gauntlet.
She's good at her job. She is good at her job.
She's unbelievable.
I don't know if you've ever watched it, but
I don't know how you could do a better job, really. It's pretty tough.
She doesn't answer their questions, but I got to be honest, there's an art to that. There is an art to that.
Yeah, there's no point. There's no point answering questions. Just keep deflecting. Everything will turn out, all right, as we've seen. Obviously it didn't really quite work out for her in this Red Hen restaurant. But Matt, what are your overall thoughts about the job she does? Do you like her? Do you love our president? You love our president.
I do. I am a fan of Donald Trump, and there's a lot of people that hate him. All these feminists, everybody is.
Those
just
people are
talking.
a bunch of jokers.
Yeah, it's you just have to look at it.
Bunch of libs.
You got to see Donald Trump as a businessman, because that's his background. Yeah, he was spoiled as a kid, given a bunch of money as a kid, but you know what? He's made it here today with Trump Towers and a bunch of other things that he owns. And
there's going to be one in North Korea, coming soon. A Trump Tower.
I believe it. So, and thank you, Frank, for bringing up North Korea. Like, he's getting along with Kim Jong-un. He's getting along with Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, Putin.
Thanks.
It works. They just accelerated. North Korea just actually accelerated their nuclear missile site in the construction of it. So
it's about trust.
It looks like that summit went really well. And this communist Bernie Sanders, the fact that he says this, it really shows how wrong the restaurant owner was in the fact that he said Sarah Sanders should have the right to go into a restaurant and have dinner. And so this socialist, this communist, the fact that he would say this, it really speaks to how wrong of a move this really was.
It's almost like he believes that everyone should have equal rights under the Constitution.
It's unbelievable.
Unprecedented.
Unbelievable. All right, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into a little bit of Hollywood for Dummies.
Austin hasn't gotten enough love here.
That is the second surprise segment that we are going to do. And we're going to do that one with Austin Lee, who I think knows a little bit more about Hollywood.
We've gotten a little bit of feedback. People seem to think that we don't know what's going on with regard to the Hollywood stuff. And I got to be honest, I say it every time, where it's Hollywood for dummies, by dummies. Frankie and I, both dummies when it comes to this. Austin, he knows a little bit more. And
how did you guys think Farrah Abraham was the Octomom? I don't get that.
Jeff really had me going with that
Octomom. One. It's close.
I only knew her for one thing, and then Jeff brought that up, and I was like, that sounds good. I'm going to roll with it.
I delivered it with confidence, and
what's the thing you knew her from?
Don't worry about that. We'll get to that later.
All right, well, If we're going to go into this Hollywood for Dummies segment, I think we need to take a look at the New York Daily News. We got a couple headlines here. Austin, you ready? Because we need you. We need your help. First headline, Heather Locklear reportedly hospitalized Monday for possible overdose just hours after arrest for kicking a cop. Can you believe that? Who the heck is Heather Locklear, first of all?
I'm going to go with actress. I'm feeling good about the actress call.
I'm thinking actress, but also ex-wife of someone famous.
Okay.
Like, she's still relevant.
Austin, do you have any idea?
No.
You're fitting in nicely in this
Our
segment.
ace also.
Our ace is fitting in nicely.
Yeah.
But can we just talk about the definition of a bad day here, huh? Kicks a cop. What did the cop do? What do you think? Guesses, Frankie?
I'm thinking that she was. This is not a topic to joke about, but I'm gonna think that she was overdosing while the cop was trying to restrain her, and she was like, basically, get the hell off of me.
Well,
kicks him.
Says hours after, so you think early stages.
Just hours.
Early stages, she's freaking out. She doesn't know what's going on. She's tripping balls, and she just kicks a cop. That's nuts.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what's going on. I think she's mid OD at that point, and the cop is sees it in her eyes, and he's trying to save her, and then she strikes back, and then she gets hospitalized.
And it took him. Oh yeah, she was hospitalized hours later.
Right.
I was in the mindset that she was arrested hours later after the kick, and in which case I guess that's a really slow cop. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think that it was kind of all happened simultaneously. Would you agree, Austin?
I would agree. I just want to know what she was ODing on. That's what I'd like to know.
You trying to guess? We don't.
No, I don't want any of what she was on. I'm just trying to get more.
Yeah, more of the story.
story,
Yeah, I see that. It could
Is
be.
that what the kids call it nowadays?
Yeah.
The story.
The story.
Yeah,
It's all about
okay.
the story, bro. Snapchat stories.
Well, speaking of stories, I think it's interesting. Meghan Markle's ex-husband Trevor Engelson gets engaged. At least we get some background on who the person is. We don't sound completely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Meghan Markle's ex-husband Trevor Engelson gets engaged 2 weeks after the royal wedding. Who won the
Wow.
breakup?
Wow.
Austin? Who won it?
Well, who did Trevor marry? Do we know?
Ooh.
We don't know.
We might have to look that up.
I didn't
I'm
look
gonna look that up.
Unless he married a queen, I think Meghan may have won the.
Or a prince. We're not
prince.
here to judge. Maybe he matched her.
Yeah, we don't judge. 2018. If you want to be gay, be gay.
Yeah. Here. Oh God.
Who do we have here, Frank?
Trevor Engelson.
Oh,
wife.
you don't even know how to pronounce the name.
Oh,
Either
we
way.
still have Meghan Markle up on Google, so
Yeah, they don't update often.
yeah, we don't know. I'm gonna go with he won the breakup because he doesn't have to deal with the prestige and being under the microscope every second.
Yeah, it must be
And
hard
you know-
to deal
you know
with
this-
being married into the wealthiest family on the world.
I mean, you know this guy has enough money to make do, and I'm sure live a nice life. Even though we have no idea who he is, probably
he's probably wealthy.
I'm gonna
right?
go screenwriter here.
Screenwriter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he has enough money. He can do what he wants, and he's not gonna. He can get a few jet skis. He can go out and he can enjoy, the water, and he doesn't have to worry about.
Are we assuming that he is also in England, like jet skiing on the English Channel? Where's the water inspiration here?
There could be. I'm just
trying
that's
to
where
get
jet
what's-
skis go.
Well, isn't she from America?
She is.
Yeah.
I don't know what part, but
Well, that's where I'm just saying that's where the jet skis go is in the water.
Yeah, so
In
it's
a way-
definitely in water. It doesn't.
you're not wrong.
And I'm just saying that he can enjoy his life. He's not under the microscope. And yes, she has as much money as she'll ever need, but there's gonna come a time and point where that's just gonna get old.
All right, so my next point, and we're not moving on to the next headline because I think there's a lot in this one. Matt, maybe you can answer this for me. Is it petty wedding planning? You think they planned 2 weeks afterwards? Was he thinking about the buzz dying down, or is this complete coincidence and that we're just reading into it? I don't know. What do you think?
I think we're just being head cases about it now. I think we're
Nothing-
just reading
nothing
way
deeper
too
going
deep
on.
into.
I
No,
don't know. I
no,
think there
it's
is
just,
something.
I think there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah.
Like,
If
just-
we're being honest.
Matt, I'm with you. I think it is a coincidence, and we're tied up here. But Frankie, why don't you elaborate? What do you think? I mean,
Well,
You think there's some pettiness here?
Clearly, he did this to not get completely overpowered by his ex-wife.
Yeah,
He's
like
like-
2 weeks after. Maybe
Yeah.
if it was like 2 months, maybe it'd be like,
This
two
is a
weeks.
no-brainer. What he was really doing was he was trying to get the right day, except he doesn't have as much money as the royal family, so the place he wanted to have the wedding at was actually booked for 2 weeks, so
Yeah,
he had to
but
push it back 2 weeks.
Buckingham Palace is a tough book. Isn't that where? That's not where they held it, is it? It's got to be, right?
I think that's where they had
Every
the royal
royal
wedding.
wedding?
I'm saying this guy, where he wanted to have it, was probably booked that weekend, so
Oh.
he had it 2 weeks later.
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah.
No, he didn't get married 2 weeks. He just got engaged 2 weeks.
Oh, that's
Oh,
big.
we had this totally wrong.
Oh,
Well, in that case, that changes everything. It went from pettiness to depression spiral.
then yes.
Ex-wife marries
Definitely no coincidence
ex-wife
here.
marries
Yeah, no.
a prince. Heck, I got to get married too. I'm missing
Yeah,
out.
this is
Oh, he definitely lost the breakup.
yeah.
He lost.
He lost. We're going back. Yeah, I take that back. He lost. All right, moving on.
Let's move on to a happier topic here. The last headline: America Ferrera and her husband welcome a baby boy, and you know that the
Is that her name?
America Ferrera. Yeah,
America
she's an
Ferrera,
actress.
Is she
Actress,
married
yeah.
to Adam Ferrera?
I don't know. No,
Canadian?
I
No,
think
that's
her name-
like her. That's her
maiden
name. Yeah.
Oh.
and
Merca.
so,
Matt
baby-
loves that name.
Baby boy, beautiful, but
You should
my
too.
thought is America Ferrera. Let's go around and I think take guesses. Baby boy named after a country, much like his mom, Frankie. If you had to name a kid after a country, what's the name?
Djibouti.
And it's
Djibouti.
Djibouti. We got Djibouti from Matt.
I like Bermuda. I think that's a nice name.
Bermuda Ferrera. Okay, we got Bermuda Ferrera, Djibouti Ferrera.
Georgia also works.
Oh,
Oh,
Georgia.
Ooh.
Oh, a nice
I don't
southern
hate
state.
that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or you
for
could go
It's a
country.
For a
It's a
boy,
country.
but
You could go with the country
embraces it.
too.
Yeah, no, I know.
I like both.
Austin, what do you think?
What about Azerbaijan? That's a good one.
I don't even know how to say that, so no, I'm gonna pick one that I can pronounce. How about New Zealand?
New Zealand Ferrera. That has a nice ring to it. You don't need a middle name because the first name is 2 parts. I'm going to go with Mauritania.
Mauritania.
We were talking about it earlier. Mauritania Ferrera. I think the double A ending has a nice ending. Mauritania Ferrera. And
One other one you could do is Mali. M-A,
no, don't do Mali.
No,
You don't want it.
Mali. But it sounds like a normal girl's
in
name, Mali.
Northwestern
Beautiful.
Africa.
Mali.
Oh,
Yes.
but they're having a baby boy.
Yeah.
We're getting these headlines are killing us. We're not reading them
Yeah.
all the way through.
Mali. That's probably what Heather Locklear was on when she was kicking the
Oh,
cow.
that's yes.
Oh,
that's
way to
I
bring
agree.
it full circle. I like that. And if we're bringing everything full circle, I think we need to touch a little bit more on the Chop Classic while we have our special guests here. A big part of the fan base of the Chop Classic last year, there was some buzz regarding the Best Outfit Award. Austin, why don't you tell the listeners what you wore last year? Because I thought it was
And then
pretty
what you
amazing.
have planned for this year. And then Matt, we also want to hear what you have planned for this year for the outfit.
Last year for the outfit, it was a hot day. I wore a Canadian tuxedo. I went jorts though, because it was, like I said, it was hot, so I wanted to cool off the legs. But I had a heavy
Gotta let the thighs
denim shirt.
breathe.
Yes, had to let the thighs breathe.
And those thighs, they were working because I seem to recall you attempting to break a club over your knee, right?
I attempted, yes. I bought a club at Goodwill, and I hit a bad drive. So I was trying to break it, and I could not do that. I could not do so.
Well, it's tough. Matt, how about you? What did you wear last year? What's the plan for this year?
Well, last year I meant business. I wanted to win, and clearly I did that. I made my point. So now it's just for the fun. I got my foot in the door now. I think I'm just going to go with just something casual that I wear on a Sunday if I'm not working. Cowboy boots and a bathing suit, and I think that's about it.
Are you gonna wash your hands for
No,
this tournament?
I'm not even going to shower.
Why would he
Really.
wash his hands when those same hands won last year? You don't get rid of that.
I haven't washed my hands in a year.
My question, you won last year. You received the Chop Blazer. The winner of the Chop Classic receives a navy blue blazer with the emblem. It is navy blue, not black. Is it black?
No, it's navy blue.
It
with
is
the
navy-
letters.
It's
spells out,
navy
yeah.
blue. The letters on the left breast spell chop. And Matt, you got to take that home along with some cool prize money. You gonna wear the blazer this year? Show up in style on top of the swimsuit and cowboy boots?
You know, I think the person that put this whole thing together, Frankie, thought I was too irresponsible and didn't wear the jacket enough, so he took that away from me. So right now I don't really have much.
Scandal.
Besides the
I
trophy.
did not know this.
I also took home some cash, but I really didn't get to enjoy that.
You didn't make it home with the cash.
No.
I seem to recall a casino trip afterwards.
Yep, we went to the casino. I was at the craps table for 5 minutes, and it was gone. Just like nothing. But, everything happens for a reason. As we were leaving the casino, Frankie and I, we ran into Mark Allard, and to have been interviewed by him about the Chop Classic. He heard about the buzz as well. I guess that social media
He
really
came
spread
rushing
fast.
to find
Yes.
us after the Chop Classic.
It's tough to
give-
beat away the reporters after a tournament like
it
the
really
Chop
is.
Classic.
You got they're swarming from everywhere, and he was the one reporter I thought we could trust the most to give a true, genuine interview following the round, and I think it went really well. And so, Austin, what do you have planned to wear this year? And then what are your thoughts? I want to hear a little prediction, your thoughts about your golf game right now and what you're feeling for the Chop Classic this Sunday, this weekend.
So I'll start off with the outfit. To be honest, for this year, I really don't know. I have no idea. I was thinking about, since last year I did the Canadian tuxedo, this year I was going to go maybe a real tuxedo.
Ooh, I like that little American tuxedo.
Yes, yeah, I was going to do a real American tuxedo.
I think the tuxedo's Italian.
Well, it depends where you get it from.
Ends in a vowel.
Ends in a O.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was getting it from an American Goodwill, so
So
it's an American tuxedo.
All right. I like
So I was thinking about doing a tuxedo, but it is supposed to be almost 100 degrees.
I think 99 is the number I saw today.
Well, I mean, but
that. Also, coincidentally, the score that I may shoot this Sunday, 99 on
for 9 holes, people.
But like
That's
they
not
say,
great.
if you look good, you play good, right?
Yeah.
So I might have to do the tuxedo.
Look good,
but-
feel good, play good.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
But this year it's a different approach. I had to get rid of my caddy last year.
He will actually be competing this year, ladies and gentlemen. He's the only person under the age of 21, Josh 2K Blindy, and he will have to drink either prune juice or carrot juice to deduct strokes from his score, which, it's an interesting wrinkle, but I think he'll have a little fun with
It
it.
may not affect his senses, but it will make him feel sick, and that's what we want. So, Frankie, say I were a fan.
Wait, we got to hear Austin's. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
We need to
that's
hear
fine.
Austin's ultimate hopes for
Alright,
this.
so like I
weekend.
said, my caddy last year, he didn't help me at all. He's actually the reason I missed that 6-inch putt. He read the green wrong. So this year,
I hate when that happens.
yeah. So this year, I picked up a new caddy who I think is gonna help me achieve greatness. He goes by the name Maxwell Lee. He's also my cousin.
Okay.
So I'm picking up him and
Employing the family. I like that.
yes, and
Nothing can ever go wrong when you employ the family.
No, well, he was free, so that's
Okay.
that's the main reason I did it. But
Okay.
I mean, this year I've been putting in a lot more practice than I did last year, so I can get better. I've been to the range, I think not once but twice,
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, and I've played not 1 but 2 rounds of golf since last year's Chop, and I also just downloaded a game on my phone called Golf Clash, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Nice. It sounds like you're on the right track to maybe capturing the title this year.
I'm hoping so.
And Matt, how about you leave us with where's your game at right now, and what are you feeling for this weekend?
All right. Well, the game right now is non-existent. I went to the driving range on Monday just to warm up, since the last time I swung a golf club was at the Chop Classic last year. So I was just shank after shank, shot after shot, and I'm really just going to keep my head up high this time. I'm not going to be so competitive. I'm going to shoot probably 55 if I drink 10 beers. So
It's a very soft approach.
I'm not feeling too hot about it.
So you think you're gonna win or no?
No.
Oh my God,
That sounds like reverse psychology to me.
this is taking a
if
turn.
you're a winner, you say you're not going to win.
Last year
and
he
then
was
you
all
sweep 'em.
business. He knew he was winning.
I proved the point
He
last
was already
year.
planning the after party at Avalon last year. This year, oh man, I was gonna make you the heavy favorite, but I don't know after that attitude.
Well, you still probably should, but...
Okay.
Well,
mean-
there's a glint of confidence.
Also, I just want to say, how freaking wrong is this that Josh Blinderman is in the Chop Classic and he played golf every single day at NFA?
No.
spring?
You see, he's had a back tightness for about a year. Okay.
Oh my
Have you
God.
ever seen him run?
Well, he can't
It's
do
not-
that.
it's not
he can't
pretty.
shoot either.
He's
but-
tight.
Oh no,
I can't imagine
he can
he has
make it
much
rain on the
twist.
basketball court, but his back has kept him out of a lot of golf this spring, so he really has not a lot of rounds under his
So-
belt either.
So focus on his back.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. That sounds.
Are
really
you gonna hit him in the back?
I don't know. Some Happy Gilmore might come,
Happy Gilmore.
and
And-
I might just maybe. You know what? We'll all
Things
see.
happen.
We just
Accidents
gotta.
happen.
Yeah.
Matt, you
accidents
shouldn't-
happen, and you will have to tune in to basically come out and watch. You know, we don't want you following the Chop dot Classic on Instagram to find all this information. We want you to come out and watch Norwich Golf Course, 3 p.m. on Sunday, this Sunday, July 1st. The Chop Classic. We will have Matt, we will have Austin, and we will have a bunch of other goons who will, you know, they'll be battling their heart out. And we just want to thank you for listening to our third episode, and we'll see you next week.